it that we cannot change about transitions? We cannot change the paths in which we have taken in our journey to get here.
But we can change what our destination will look like.
What is it that we cannot change about relationships? We cannot change the time lost, the tears shed, or the pain inflicted.
But we can recognize and choose the people and the relationships that will help enhance our growth and life.
What is it about body that we cannot change? We cannot reverse the damage that has already been inflicted upon us.
But we can help them see the beauty that lies within, that truly defines an individual.
What is it that we cannot change about prejudice? We cannot undo the hate and cruelty that has been inflicted in the past.
But we can choose to not accept it in the present in an effort to consciously create a better future.
So what is TAKE? TAKE is a series of skits that depicts real experiences that addresses the issues on transitions, relationships, body, and prejudice.
All of which are produced, written, directed, and acted by students just like you.
These are our stories and the choices that were made or could have been made.
These stories and topics connect to everyone, in some way, in some shape, or in some form.
So take a moment to think about what you're about to see. Take a moment to just listen.
And we are
Have you ever thought about what your college experience is going to be?
Have you thought about what events you'll go to?
The clubs or organizations you'll join?
Or even the kinds of people you'll meet?
You can't predict your college experience.
But what if we told you we could give you a sneak peek of what it might be like?
Into the lives of students who are just beginning their journey at CISA.
And into the lives of students who are closing their chapters as matadors.
Here is an opportunity to listen and hopefully learn.
From our successes and our failures.
Transitions are defined as a movement, passage, or change from one state, position, or concept to another.
The students you're about to see will showcase 4 of the thousands of experiences students may go through.
Keep in mind that the characters you see here will be different from any other characters that you will see in other skits.
Let's see these first year students listen and learn from the students who have dealt with their issues on transitions.
Action.
Wow, I've only attended my freshman orientation, and I'm absolutely in love with CISA. You see, I'm only going to be here for 4 years, so I need to soak up as much as I can and as fast as I can. My orientation leaders told me about all of the cool events I get to join my first semester here at CISA, like Big Show, Manifest, Meet the Clubs, and even get to meet Diane Harrison and Dr. Watkins at University President Reagan. Hi, Dr. Watkins. Tell Dr. Harrison I'm still attending class every day. Not to mention, join Greek Live. Wait, I think I have the story to think now. Sorry, squad. Fast forward to spring semester, I will be applying to becoming a new student orientation leader and work in the university student union, of course. I heard that they hire the most students on campus, so I better be one of them. There are more than 300 clubs to choose from here at CISA. But shoot, why settle for only one when you can just create your own through the Matador Involvement Center? Oh, there is so much to see and do here at CISA. I cannot take this opportunity for granted. I promise you, CISA, this will be my new home away from home. And it will start today.
Well, today I'm telling you, you sound crazy with all the things you want to get yourself involved in. This was me. I wanted to get anything and everything that crossed my path. And for a while, it was amazing. This large campus became smaller and smaller with each new group I became part of. And let me tell you, it paid off big time. I even applied for the Diane F. Harrison Leadership Scholarship Board that's only for freshman students. And I got it. I was on top of the world. But I wish someone would have just told me to breathe. I'm not gonna lie, I am an overachiever. 3 to 4 hours on campus a day turned into 8, 9, 12 hours, and sure, a good amount was in class, 4 more was in that club meeting, going to the gym, volunteering for an organization, or just being there for a friend. It's funny. They tell you to learn your limits when it comes to drinking. I wish someone would have told me that learning your limits also meant that over-involvement and over-dedication will ultimately lead to less time studying, less time to relax, less time for my family, less time for me. So I'm telling you right now, saying yes will get you points. But saying no when the time is right will ensure your sanity and pride view balance. Because yes, CISA is a great place to discover you. But give yourself a break and breathe. You're only human. Balance all out and learn your limits, so you may succeed in all aspects of your college experience.
I wish somebody would have told me my parents were going to be this crazy when I got into college. You see, I have those typical overly in-your-face helicopter parents that loom over your every move. They're with me everywhere I go, and they answer to me the majority of the time. It's like, hold that up. This is my mom right now. Hi, Mom. Yes. No, I can't talk right now. I'm literally on stage right now. No. Yes, I'll be home at 7. Bye. Girl, bye. Anyways, for example, they even came with me to my academic advisor this past semester. And then, when I asked the advisor if there were any fun classes, I got the look. You know the one I'm talking about. It's the one you get when you're about to get your ass handed to you. I get lectured now more than ever, and God forbid I have my own thoughts on the matter. Austin, you're gonna be a doctor. You don't have time to put in that outfit or talk to that person. Austin, you're supposed to set a good example for your little sister. Austin, you're so lucky you don't have to have a job and your parents pay for your education. I'm so tired of hearing that. At this point, I'm just waiting for something, anything, to get me out of my parents' house and away from their constant need to articulate my next move. I just wish somebody would have told me this would be the price to pay for attending college so close to home.
You know, I wish somebody would have told me that, God, I was being so dramatic. I've got to admit that my helicopter parents were in my face quite a bit, but at this point in my life, I've got a lot more perspective. Yes, we get it. You want your space, you want your freedom, and you want it now. It's been 17 to 18 long years that we heard, clean your room, or you better eat that last piece of broccoli. I mean, when was it finally our time? Answer, college. That look that we would get when talking out of church? No more of that. Yes, it would all change in college. Didn't our parents know that this was our college experience? But just FYI, your parents do get it. Just imagine for a second, just close your eyes. Or not, that's okay. Just imagine for a moment that you just got a scholarship, or you just got a job, or you just found out you were eligible to graduate. Do you have those people that you get excited with and celebrate with? Or did you smack them away for always being in your face? The truth is that for every person in this room who wishes their annoying parents would just get out of their face, there's another person in this room who wishes they'd have anyone. Those annoying phone calls, those are parent code that they're thinking of you. Repeated text messages are parent code that they miss you and wish you were home. God, they seem suffocating now. But trust me, you'll find a rhythm to communicate. And, I mean, it also helps that they still pay for your phone.
Y'all, when that financial aid check came through, I was falling, y'all. I felt like the world was at my fingertips. It was finally no more, dang, I can't afford this. And I was, dang, what should I get next? Festival tickets, new J's. I'm in college now, right? I might as well recreate my whole image while I'm at it and get a new wardrobe. Don't even get me started on the food. I don't understand why TV shows are constantly showing college students struggling and eating ramen noodles all the time. Yeah. If they got the same check I got, I don't understand why they wouldn't be going out every night with their friends. Taco Tuesday after class? Boy, I got you. You have trouble paying for that meal? You the homie, I got you. Yeah. For real, y'all, why don't we check out those deals that they have every Thursday at B-Dubs? I'm gonna be like Oprah with it. I got you, I got you, I got you. Honestly, y'all, I just don't understand why nobody told me I would have this much financial freedom when I came to college. I know my mom and dad
didn't know much about the college or financial aid thing, but if they would just advertise that you could get a big old fat check for coming to college, I bet everyone in high school would apply. My mom tells me I should save money. But I mean, for what? I'm only gonna get another check like this next semester. But the semester's already halfway through, and I'm still balling. Without a budget, of course.
Whoa. Balling without a budget. Are you for real? Look, that's a clever joke and all, and I hope that that's a joke. Because that mentality is going to cause you nothing but struggle in college. At least financially you will. Take it from me. I used to be just like her. Well, maybe not in the looks department, but it took me a few years to catch up. Look, y'all, I would splurge my financial money the moment I got it. So I am not going to stand up here and tell you what you should and shouldn't be buying. Except for you. You want to get some new kicks? Girl with that jump shot? Look, I know I'm being hard on the girl, but it's only because I know her circumstances. Just like her, I'm also a first-generation student. The first in my family to pursue higher education. I didn't know how to handle my finances or even where to spend my money. Look, if you have the bad habits that she has right now, or like the ones that I used to, then you're going to end up struggling financially sooner or later. And trust, then you're really going to look like those college students on TV, eating nothing but ramen noodles for dinner. So listen, y'all, I'm just trying to be the voice of reason. CSUN has a lot of resources to help you with your finances. Take the financial aid office, for example. They have a financial literacy program, where all you gotta do is go on YouTube, watch a few videos on earning scholarships, setting up goals, saving money on textbooks, and then bam! All of y'all financially literate. Let's see over the best. But look, take it from me. Using the resources that were available, I was able to go from a financially struggling college student to a financially stable and soon to be college graduate, debt free. Not many people can say that. You have students strolling down the street in my old shoes, in the same clothes I've always worn. Know that you're in the presence of a true baller. Just one that knows how to use a budget. And as for you, look, I know I roasted you to oblivion, and it's only because I care. So if you ever need help with your finances, hit me up. I got you.
Hey, son, it's me, Izzy. That's right. You don't know me yet, but you will. Somehow, some way, you got my number again, and have been encouraging me to engage and explore all the things that CSUN has to offer on campus. And trust me, I had. I just wish somebody would have told me I'd be so confused. Like, for instance, earlier this week I attended your Meet the Clubs event and was rushed by a bunch of fraternities that wanted me. And, come on, have you seen me? Can you blame them? I was handing flyers from rugby to water polo, even volleyball. And even though I'm more of a basketball kind of guy, I'm thinking, why not? It's college, right? Trying to try something new. But this is one flyer. The Pride Center? What is it? Back in high school, anything even remotely gay was seen as wrong. You know, dressing a certain way, talking a certain way, even walking a certain way. We didn't talk about it, so I didn't talk about it. I used to pray to God that He would have just made me normal, like everyone else. Why can't I be like everyone else? Why did I have to be the odd man out? I used to question my own feelings. Am I supposed to feel like this? Will I always feel like this? I was told that college was the platform where you get to come out and embrace being you. But I honestly don't feel it. You know what? Let's forget it. It's just a phase, right? I won't feel like this tomorrow. So let's drop it. My mom always told me maybe I haven't found the right woman yet. So that's gotta be the right answer, right? It's alright. I'm sure it's nothing. I guess.
Throughout my time at CSUN, the phrase is,
it's nothing. Or it's just a phase, it'll pass. You know what, let me not even sugarcoat it. Being told that being gay is wrong have penetrated my mind, conditioning me to believe that I have to hide the person inside me, struggling to come out. Constantly battling within my own mind, asking God, why would you make me this way? Why can't I pray the gay away? Was the epitome of my internal conflict. I'm not going to pretend like it was easy. Because, sure enough, there are struggles that I had to face. Telling my loved ones. Hoping that they would understand. Fear that they wouldn't accept me. Fear that other people were going to find out and paint their own picture of me. I felt so alone. But it wasn't until I took a leap of faith and I decided to check out the Pride Center. Yes, the Pride Center. And one of their Tuesday talks, and let me tell you, brother, it changed my life. At first I went and I was too scared to share my story. So I stayed quiet. But they welcomed me with open arms regardless. When I found a community that was so welcoming and accepting, I knew at that moment that I needed to welcome and accept this part of my identity. The difference between me, when I was in his shoes and where I stand now, is that now I can say that I am my full self. And I love the person that I've become. It's funny. They say being gay is a choice, but that's not true. The only choice I ever made was the choice to love and accept myself.
Do you think you know everything there is to know about coming to college?
Or do you think you can handle college at all?
At some point, these students were just like you.
Some felt like they were in way over their heads.
While others felt like they owned it.
And depending on the day, many felt both.
With all these thoughts going through their heads.
They were a little nervous.
Some more than others.
And they were scared to be their true selves.
But most realize that CSUN is a place to overcome obstacles.
By surrounding yourself with individuals who support you.
And utilizing the resources on campus to support yourself.
So that regardless of whatever is thrown at you,
Have faith that you will find your way.
not everything is what it seems.
And take it from these students up here and create your own choices.
It may take some time to find the answers.
But there is help to get you to your solutions.
It's up to you to take it for what it's worth.
Thank you.
A relationship is defined as a way in which two or more people, concepts, or objects are connected, or the state of being connected.
Furthermore, an emotional and sexual association between two people. Keep in mind that the characters that you see here are different from any other characters that you have seen or will see in other states.
Let's see how these CSUN students are dealing with their issues on relationships.
Action.
Alright, for real, y'all, it's my turn. Okay. So, never have I ever had sex with a woman.
Ooh, hold on, a question about that. So like, one finger for each woman, or what?
Jose, you knock it off. You know you're not doing that.
Please, Ryan, don't finish that.
That hurts, man.
Please.
What? You know, Ryan, you're right. I don't get that much. That's only because you're mad here. Also, gentlemen, or only ever is committed to one woman. And
Anyways, damn, Jenny, I didn't know you swung that way.
Hey, college is a time of experimentation. Don't be pointing fingers just because y'all didn't try new things here.
Mm-hmm. No need to explain yourself, honey. We knew you were free since day one.
Hey, don't be judging because girls know what girls want.
And obviously, Nettie doesn't.
moving on.
Okay. Never have I ever had a noise complaint immediately after sex.
Girl, you have?
No way. I enjoy making my own kind of music.
Oh, is that so? Hey, Rose, what's your favorite instrument?
Let's see. Flute, clarinet, trumpet, really anything I can blow.
make her scream. Actually, you know what? Hey, bro, how about we make it wet? That way, other people I know.
Well, I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm kind of on vocal rest right now.
Girl, we all know why you're on vocal rest. Okay, What?
And what is that supposed to be?
I don't know, at least pretend to be a lady, you know? Channel your inner Beyonce. Keep it mysterious.
Pretend to be a lady. Listen, whether I'm poised and polished like Queen Bee or get down and dirty like Cardi B, I can be whoever I want. Don't be jealous because I can be both and actually own who I am.
Jealous?
Yeah.
Please, honey. I'm proud of the fact you have to work. For the night. Maybe if you weren't so damn easy, you know how to keep a man.
Excuse me,
Wait, where are you going, girl? Just joking.
Austin, that was a little bit too far. She's just been so sensitive lately, but it's fine. I'm gonna go check on her.
Yeah, tell her I said I'm sorry, yeah?
Okay, Austin, come on, it's your turn. Let's keep playing.
Okay. So, never have I ever had sex in a car.
Sex in a car? Who hasn't done that?
Me, Jerry. That's why
Austin, you're missing out. You need to find someone that's fun and knows how to have fun. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, Nettie, why you stuck your finger up? She just outed you, bro.
Yeah, Nettie, that's probably why y'all are always the last ones to show up today. Spending so much time in that car of yours, huh?
I see you there.
Did I?
you're so mad.
Did we hit a nerve?
No, I think his stomach was bothering him. I should go check him on him.
Hey y'all, pizza's here.
Yeah, pizza.
Hey, actually, I'll catch you down a bit. I'll look the roast and salt.
Alright, bye.
What's wrong?
You know, sometimes I forget who I'm with.
Forget who you're with? What's that supposed to mean?
Like, why would you even say all that? Don't you have respect for yourself? And how about having respect for me? Or having respect for us? You embarrass me out there. Now everyone knows our business.
What are you talking about? We were playing Never Have I Ever, and I told you that's my ratchet group of friends. I don't even know why you came if you were just gonna get mad.
You don't know why? Did you forget that I came because of you? Because you asked me to come?
Are you being serious?
Look, I don't want people perceiving us the wrong way. So don't ever say anything like that again. I don't care if it's a game or not. It's no one's business, and I don't get why you don't understand that.
Okay, I'm sorry. It won't ever happen again.
Jenny, come get pizza. Ryan just told us he had a threesome.
I'm in the message for nothing. Yeah.
Are you coming?
Wait, did you see this? I cannot believe that Ryan had a threesome with.
Please don't finish that. It honestly ruins Ryan's angel boy image, and I just can't like him.
Girl, right? I mean, I take back all the things I said to you, Rose. Ryan is the new super snatcher in town.
Yeah, about that. So, I'm sorry for being weird the other night. I'm just not really over my breakup with Chris, and it's hard, you know?
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean all the things I said to you the other night. I wasn't thinking. And I know things have been rough on you.
Rose, at least you're getting out there again, you know? Yes, getting out there with your flirty, dirty self. Girl, I see you, I see you.
Yeah, but obviously it's just a front. I'm all talk.
Whoa,
I'm barely getting back into the dating game.
honey, baby steps. You'll get there. I mean, it seemed to work with you and Jose the other night. Did he ever hit you up, or?
Oh, it was so cute. He ended up finding me and Rose in the courtyard, and I'm not gonna
what car does he drive?
Is he a good kisser?
And how big
Oh
is he?
my God.
I should take this. I'll be right back.
Ooh, girl. Probably Jose.
Wait, whose phone is that? Oh, I think it's mine. Damn, Jenny, someone is making your hotline late. Just give me a second, I need to take this.
Damn, so hot. Everybody up in here getting booty calls except for us. Find single friends, you know, the ones that know how to make time for us.
Austin, don't be bitter.
Bitter?
Listen, Chris. No, I can't talk right now. I'm with my friends and I'm busy. No, we can't meet up. Because it's been 4 months and you know why we broke up. I'm not okay with some of the things you did. I'm not okay with you still calling me. This just really has to stop, so please just don't contact me anymore.
Hey, Nettie, what's... No, I'm just at Austin's house. Yeah, it's just me, Rose, Austin, and Soha. We're all just hanging out. No. I already told you. It's just us. There's no one else here. Nettie, you're not listening to me. I would never do something like that. No, you know what? No, it's fine. I'll be over there in 15 minutes. Please just stop. Okay. I love you too.
What?
Girl, you are so ungrateful.
What did I miss?
Hey, nothing much, but is everything okay with that phone call? Your mood seems a little different.
Yeah. It was just Chris. You know, always trying to meet up ever since we broke up, but I don't want to talk about it. I really don't.
Are you sure? Maybe you'll feel better if you do.
I mean, you are your friends. Don't be afraid to open up.
I know, and I know you're my friends and I trust you, but seriously, I'm fine, and I don't want to talk about it. Well, where's Jenny?
Oh, girl, she's still on the phone with Nettie. Probably over there having phone sex.
No, definitely not phone sex.
Well, if you need some help, honey, you know who to call.
I'm good. Oh, he was just calling to check up on me like he always does.
Oh, that's really sweet of him.
Yeah, y'all are so cute in your Instagram posts. Y'all are
Hashtag relationship goals.
Thank you. But listen, something came up and I have to go. Yeah, I'll buy us food next time or something, I promise. Sorry. I'll see you all later.
Bye.
Drive safe.
Are you watching this? Who are you texting?
Oh, just Soha.
Just Soha? Because it kind of looks like you're texting Ryan.
Okay, look. He's just texting me about homework. Go ahead, look.
Just homework?
Yeah.
I mean, I did see you at the Freudian sip together.
We were studying at the Freudian sip. It's not like I was throwing it back at a party.
You know, it's just occurring to me that you're supposed to be hanging out with me right now. But instead you're texting Ryan. Or maybe it's not Ryan. Maybe it's some other boyfriend that you know, I mean,
No.
you have on the side.
You have something on your mind. Come on, I want to hear this.
I'm good. Are you good? No, I'm good. Unless you think there's something I should be concerned about.
You are literally crazy.
Baby, I'm not crazy. I'm observant. That's so cute. That's crazy. The fact that it's so hard for you to pick up the phone when I'm calling, but it's so easy for you to be texting Ryan right now. Like I don't get it, you know?
No, no. You know what, Nettie? You are my sun and my moon, and oh my God, the smile, the cutest ever. And wait, these biceps, so big. And not even the best part, this man bun.
You know I was playing. But honestly, it feels good to know that you still think that way about me.
Well, now that I'm with the cheer team, I'll have Tuesdays and Thursday nights free, so more time with you.
Good, because honestly, the cheer squad, you're not gonna get anything from that.
Are you serious? I literally gave up something for you, and this is how you're gonna act?
Gosh, I'm playing. Relax, why are you being so defensive? Baby, I hear you. Jenny. Jenny, thank you so much for all that you do to keep this love alive. Oh my gosh, I mean the things that you're quitting to, like the cheer squad, babe. Oh my gosh, the cheer squad. Like, that's huge. Like, the places that you're giving up to go on away games to be with me, like, I don't know, Bakersfield or San Bernardino.
Okay. You are so lucky that I put up with you.
Come here. You know I love you.
I had a good time tonight, Rose.
Yeah, me too. I can't remember the last time I was so hard at the movies.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but I still think the first one is way better.
What? Not even. Oh, wait, the first one?
Yeah.
And,
Well, maybe when things start moving more between us, you'll get invitations to my place and we can watch it together.
well, being that this is our, fifth date and all, I think things are moving along pretty nicely.
I mean, I guess they are.
Yeah, so it's like that.
Well, I don't know, Mr. Guitar Player. I'm barely getting back into the dating game, but I have been having a lot of fun with you.
Yeah, I can see why. I mean, have you seen me lately?
Oh my god. I can't. But seriously, I feel like there's so much more to know about you. So how about a couple of fun facts?
Fun fact. I got you, let's see. Fun fact number one, I'm a Pisces.
Oh, maybe that's what we vibe, because I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, for sure. Let's see. Second fun fact. I'm a mechanical engineering major. Because, that's sexy.
Oh my god, that explains so much.
I'm sure it does. I don't know, Rose. What else?
Have you always lived around the valley?
Yes, I have, born and raised. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just more like a hand-holding kind of person, not so much an arm around the shoulders kind of girl.
Hands? Hands are cool. Look, Rose, I didn't mean anything by that. I just wanted to make sure you were nice and warm.
Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate it.
Actually, Rose, can I be honest? Thanks for letting me know that. I don't know, back in the movie theater, I kind of got this vibe from you that, I don't know, I smelled or something,
No, you're fine. It's just that this is the first time I started a relationship since my ex, and I get into my head a lot. I swear, it's me, not you. It's almost like that immediate knee-jerk reaction thing or something.
I get it, and Rose, look, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, you don't have to explain it to me, I understand. Sometimes we just get in our head a bit too much. But, if I'm being honest, Rose, I'm just glad I took the chance to get to know you more. Us engineer majors, we don't get out very much.
Well, I'm glad you took the chance. I just don't like when people grab my face like that.
Sure, don't stop.
I just don't like people just go and like grab it. No, seriously, stop. I don't like people do that. I'm feeling a little off right now, and thanks for tonight. Seriously, Jose. Thanks for everything, but I'm fine. I'm gonna go home. Thanks for everything.
Wait, Rose, what happened?
No, seriously, stop. Just stay right there. Don't follow me.
Damn, girl! Look at you looking like a little snake.
Hey, what are you doing here?
checked your location and saw that you were here. And, make sure you're ready for your go.
Thanks, Ray, but I already made plans to hang out with my friends. I haven't seen them in a while. They kind of miss me. Can we do this some other day?
Yeah, yes, but Jenny, I never get this day off. The only reason why I got the day off was because I was thinking of you. I could be making money right now. Is there any way that you can, I don't know, hang out with your friends some other time?
Nettie, I keep canceling on them to hang out with you. I can't do that again.
Where are you even going? Wearing this? You're showing a lot of skin.
Out, Nettie. I'm going out.
Out where?
To a party.
Oh, I get it now. Is there any chance that Ryan's going to be at this party? Or maybe any other boyfriends that I should know about?
Just stop. Okay, we can have this argument some other time, but I'm getting ready.
You know what? Look at me when I'm talking to you. Most girls would love or beg their boyfriends to come and take them out. You don't want to get attention from other dudes?
It's not even like that, and you know that. Look, Austin's calling me right now to pick me up.
So you're just going to pick up the phone when we're having a conversation?
Hey, Austin. Yeah. Just go ahead and wait down at the bottom. It's fine.
Jenny, I'm talking to you.
I'll be ready in like 15 minutes.
Jenny.
Yeah, I know. Tonight's gonna be so much
Jenny,
fun. Yeah. Okay.
Get the fuck off the phone!
What is wrong with you? I told you it was Austin. You need to leave.
No, I'm not leaving. First you ignore me, then you're trying to run away from our problems? You did this. You pushed me to this point.
Push you to what point? I don't understand what it is that I did.
Don't try to play the victim now.
You know what, Nettie? I'm done.
Jenny, don't walk away from me.
I'm not doing this anymore.
I said don't walk away from me!
What is wrong with you, Nettie?
Why are you crying? It made me seem like I'm the bad guy! Who's the guy
I'm
you're
not
talking to?
talking to any guy.
That's bullshit! That's bullshit! Who are you talking to?
I'm not.
Oh, so you just left him there, and then what happened? Where did Jose go?
I don't know. I didn't look back. I seen you just stood there. I swear so hard. This is so not like me. It's like something took over my body, and my heart started beating fast, and I felt like I couldn't even breathe.
It's okay, it's okay. It's alright. But Rose, I have to ask you, did Jose, do anything to you?
No, and that's just it. He was so kind, and he just stood there when I got all weird and emotional, and I just had to get out. Tell me I'm crazy or something.
Of course you're not crazy, but if it's not about Jose, then what is it really about?
I don't know, Soha. I don't know how to explain why I feel the way I do.
Well, maybe it's easier to explain how you feel instead of why you feel.
Dirty Soha. Ashamed. I feel like our house looks like when it gets broken into and robbed. And no matter how many times we try to fix that window or replace the locks, we just feel broken. I'm disgusted that I feel this weak. And I don't know how or why I feel the way I do.
Rose, look, I think we both know why you feel this way. Trust me, I know it's hard to go back and think about what happened, but I think we're avoiding the big issue. And
That what, Soha? That my ex-boyfriend forced me to have sex with him? That he just pretended it was nothing? Well, I cried inside? Well, I died inside?
Rose, you have to get help. You have to talk.
For what? For what? I just want to move on. I just want to forget that it ever happened. Is that so bad?
No,
No, don't touch me like that. That's what he did. That's what he did.
Rose, please, you have to get help.
There are many resources that can help you and can be found on campus or in your community.
You can locate these resources in your student handbooks and on the internet.
Let's see how these same CSUN students are dealing with their issues on relationships 1 year later.
We used to be that perfect couple. I can't tell you how many times someone commented relationship goals. But no one knows about the times he smashed my phone. No one knows how he pressured me not to talk to my friends. No one knows about the times I went to those parties and he refused to speak to me for days. It was just all too much. But then finally, one day by the grace of God, I woke up. I started to see all the love and support I was surrounded by. I began to get more involved on campus by joining different clubs and organizations. And if for some reason I ever felt like he was following me, Matador Patrol was just one phone call away to walk me back to my dorm. And these little blue towers on campus reminded me every day that I was safe. He could no longer silence me.
After Jenny and I broke up, I thought that if I could make her see that I was sad without her, she would return. It didn't hit me until I went back home for the holidays, and I would see how my dad would speak to my mom. The things he would do and the things he would say. It sounded like a lot of the stuff that I would do and say to Jenny. And it made sense. I acted out on what I thought true love was, but that's not love. Now, all I have is the opportunity to relearn how to be a man in a healthy relationship. But the one thing that I regret the most is losing the one person that I cared about because of my abuse.
One out of every 6 American women is a victim of an attempted or completed rape in her lifetime. And it took a year for me to realize that I'm one of those women. It took my body to be triggered by an intimate touch to realize that my ex-boyfriend had raped me. Rape takes many different forms, and sometimes it does happen between strangers. But other times, it happens between partners who are supposed to love you, protect you, and never want to hurt you. I should have to explain to someone that I don't want to have sex with them. I should have to yell at someone that I don't want them in my body. No means no, right? So my first no should have been more than enough for him to get the point. But that's not the world we live in. And I am not the only one.
It took a long time for Rose to finally admit what had happened to her, to finally admit that she was raped. Although Rose was able to seek help from the counseling services and was able to even contact the Title IX coordinator, that is not the same for everyone else. Not all women who are raped come forward and report it. In fact, only 20% of female student victims between the ages of 18 to 24 actually report to law enforcement. 18 to 24. That could be me, you, and everyone else. Some didn't want the perpetrator to get in trouble. Some didn't believe the police would do anything to help. Some were just too afraid of retaliation, and some were just too afraid to relive that moment.
I'm not the only one.
My rape could have been prevented if someone had just spoken up. There were many people around that could have done something, that could have intervened, but nobody did. People kept saying that it was none of their business, that they didn't want to cause a scene, and I thought somebody else was going to step in. I didn't have to be a statistic, but now here I am, just another casualty of bystander silence.
I'm not the only one.
Sexual assault doesn't only happen to women. Because of this stigma, I felt embarrassed and ashamed it happened to me. I mean, men can't get raped, right? That's the narrative. I didn't think anyone was going to believe me, so I kept it to myself, which only made things worse.
I'm not the only one. You have no right to enter our bodies.
Time's up! You have no right to rob us of our safety.
Time's up.
You have no right to take what's not yours.
Time's
You
up!
have no right to use us for your pleasure.
Time's up! It's time to change the culture around rape. So what are you going to do to end it?
defining oneself in an unhealthy manner. Keep in mind that the characters you see here are different from any other characters you have seen or will see in any other state.
Let's see how these CISA students deal with their issues on body.
Action.
I am so hungry, okay, yes. I can have half of this. 15 pieces of this. And all of this? Oh my gosh, I don't understand why these food labels are so damn confusing. I'm down for Cheetos.
You've been eating a lot of chips lately. You better watch yourself. You're getting a little chunky on the side.
Hey, this is Ryan. Yeah, leave a message.
Hey Rocket, I'm gonna pretend you forgot to call me yesterday and the day before on my birthday. Do what's up, man. I know you said you were gonna be home this weekend and we were gonna hang out. Call me. Hey Ryan, it's me, Thelma. I'm about to head over to the lounge area and expect to see you when I get there because we made plans. We're still meeting, right? Oh, you better not ditch me because I hardly see you anymore. Remember when we say guys talk every day like best friends should? Anyways, please call me back to confirm. No, really. Call me to confirm. Or text. Bye now. Oh, you know what? Never mind, Ryan. I know you're in your dorm room, and I'm gonna swing by in there and get you. Okay, bye.
Ryan Phillip Ratcher. Okay, so you don't look ready to go and hang out with me. I've been calling you all day. Come on. Hello, Ryan. Come on.
Damn, Soha, did you really just walk in my dorm? I called you like...
Yeah, like 15 minutes ago, but obviously I would have been here earlier, but you didn't hear my knocking, so.
Correction, I did hear you knocking, I just chose not to answer the door.
Rude. I had to ask your RA to let me in.
Wait, so my RA let you in? Are they allowed to do that?
No, but the R and I had a thing going there for a second, but anyways, that's besides the point. The point is, Ryan, is that you suck at communicating. I mean, what the hell is up with you lately? You've been like a hermit in your man cave. There's a whole world outside. Come on.
Oh, I can see the whole world out there. These blinds right here, and... Look, I'm just tired, and I'm not feeling it today.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You're too tired to go to my birthday party? I mean, who does that? Who misses their best friend's birthday party for being too tired?
We already went over this, and I already apologized. What more do you want?
Yeah, through a text. I mean, who does that?
Happy birthday, then? I mean, I guess you're right, so I owe you, but I'm just not feeling it today. It's like I'm having an off day or something, you know?
Try an off month, boo, but all is forgiven. I took the liberty of organizing a little event with you, myself, and Jose, so get ready and be here in a few minutes.
No, Soha, what don't you understand? I don't want to go.
Why? Because you're too tired? No, Ryan, listen, the excuses have worked last time, but come on, Ryan, you know we go to the pubs on Mondays. This is tradition, like what friends do with each other. Come on.
Yo, who's ready to get some pizza? Wait, why y'all sitting around? Look, I'm parked in faculty parking and I don't want to get a ticket. So let's move.
And how did you get in my dorm?
Well, the RA let me. Yeah, I sort of had a thing going.
So you hooked up with Alex too?
Yeah, not bad.
Why is everyone hooking up with my... You know what? Forget it. You two, listen, I appreciate everything you're doing, and I understand it, but I'm just not feeling this.
Ryan, listen, the excuses have worked last time, but you owe me, remember?
And besides, Sam's gonna be there. What? Did y'all break up or something?
Come on. Why am I supposed to do this? Come on. Let's just...
Look, change in plans. We'll still go to the pub, but we'll go to the other side. See, look, it's foolproof. Can we just go?
Fine.
Yes, brother. I like, right. in that wind. I'm gonna fly up on out of here with this. Okay, so the makeup is good. Now to check the outfit. I look so bloated. These freaking long hands. I knew I shouldn't have ate all that pizza for this party.
Sorry, Jenny, I have to get some lotion real quick and oh my god, I have to Jasmine! Ew. Are you sick again?
Margarita, I didn't know you were gonna get home this quick, girl. I'm fine. Just, you may want to give the bathroom a few moments.
Are
I'm
you
good.
feeling alright?
Yeah, girl, I'm good. I'm fine. I promise.
Girl, you know who you're talking to.
Margarita, I'm fine, friend.
You're gonna stand there and pretend that you weren't just getting all bulimic over there?
Margarita, I told you I'm fine. It was a few pieces of pizza gone bad, girl. But seriously, just let it go. I'm fine. Jenny, come on. Let's get ready, y'all. Because I am not trying to leave the house at midnight like always. I don't mean to be Miss Shade Queen, but some of y'all like to laugh.
Girl, you know I gotta look good, but anyways, can we just acknowledge how snatched your body is? I mean, damn, girl, what's your diet plan? I'm trying to subscribe ASAP.
Yeah. How much weight have you lost? You've been going, sorry, to the student recreation center like every day.
Yeah, Margarita, you're right. I have been working out every day for the past 4 months. Maybe you should give it a try, friend. Alright. But anyways, y'all, I'm just trying to focus on myself. You know what I mean? Ever since Izzy and I broke up, I finally get to focus on my time on myself instead of dealing with his ungrateful ass.
Yeah, he was gross. But listen, you know, girls, I just saw him. He posted on his Instagram story. He's gonna be at the party tonight, boo boo.
Yeah. We had to tell you as we know you blocked him.
Girl, you know I blocked him on everything. Everything.
No.
But for real, y'all, I just wanted tonight to be a fun girls' night. Now I have to deal with all this boy drama. Like, I'm not down.
And it still will be. Don't worry, Jasper. Girls, we got you.
Yes, honey. You are looking like an entire meal. I'm talking about thick with two teaspoons. Trust me, he's going to be so upset when he sees you. Shit! Did anyone clean up the four logos so we can pregame in the
I told you that. But you know what? Scratch the four logos. I'm feeling like Henny, Jenny, Mr. So you know what? We can just pick up a bottle on our way to the party.
You know what? That is perfect because I actually forgot my wallet. So, you need to come back and get the door. Come on, come on.
Okay, both of y'all are hot messes. Let's go.
Bye.
And you, Jess, you can finish up whatever it is you were doing before we got here.
I'm gonna pretend you're being really cute right now, Margarita. Just hurry up. Yeah.
Oh my God, is Ryan flaking on us again? I'm so frustrated.
So look, he's an exploratory student. He doesn't know what he wants to do yet. Ryan, he'll be fine.
Jose, this is not the Ryan that I know. He's moody, he doesn't show up to things, he hides from us. I don't know what's going on. Like,
Well, the Ryan I know is just going through a tough semester. Let it be, he'll be fine.
no. Listen, Ryan is so steady. He pays for shit. For instance, I mean, someone in his family like passed away like a year ago, and I didn't even see him cry once. Not even once. And I mean, him and his girlfriend Sam broke up, and I mean, he was bummed for like a minute, but then he kind of bounced back and he acted like it didn't even faze him. I don't know. I'm thinking he's angry, depressed. I don't know. What do you think, Jose? Jose, really? You're so rude. Not even paying attention to me.
So what do you want me to do about it?
I don't know. How about like giving shit for once?
I got it. Here's what we'll do. Listen up. We'll stage a 5-alarm intervention. Yes, we'll invite all of his friends, put them in this big old room, talk our feelings out, hug everything out, kumbaya, all that good stuff. See, look, you think it's crazy. You know why? Because that's what you sound like. Look, so Ryan is a grown-ass man. You need to get off his back, and he needs to deal with this shit.
I need to deal with my what?
Oh, my land. Perfect timing, Ryan. Can you please tell Solas that you're fine, that everything is okay? Because she is convinced that something is wrong with you. And then she likes to go on these big old long tirades about how sad you are. Which, you know, typically happens before I'm allowed to eat.
Yeah, I'm not sad. Everything's fine. Let the dude eat.
See? Everything is cool. I don't get it.
Anyways, seriously, Ryan, what's going on?
Nothing. And I don't need a 5-stage intervention, so I'm fine.
Ryan, we have been friends for too long. Something is going on. You can just talk.
So on, just drop it. I'm fine.
Okay, I guess we can eat.
Cheetos?
No.
Oh, have you, Jenny? Yeah, her drunk ass got wasted at the pregame, so.
Living up to a reputation, I guess.
Jack? Damn, girl, look at you looking all good. Nice. I see you posted a check to get you fixed on ice.
Oh, really? You're making it real hard not to sign an anything.
Honestly, y'all, please stop. Y'all do not need to gas me up like this, but I appreciate it.
For real, you're looking real good. You're looking real good.
Oh, you too, Margarita.
Nothing so much is coming from you. I get it.
You haven't seen Jasmine in a while.
I get it.
Definitely been a solid 2 months. Hey, where you been at?
Yeah, it's honestly been a minute, but y'all know how it goes. I've just been trying to focus on myself with these fitness goals, you know what I mean?
Hey, this must be where the party's at.
Hey.
Oh, hey. Oh, nigga, that's so quick. What's good?
Damn.
Jasmine?
Ooh. Hey.
Hey.
No. I got some drinks. Y'all wanna take some shots?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need one now. No, we're good. So what are we cheersing to, y'all?
Summer 2K18.
Summer 2K18.
You could just go.
Yeah, girl, I'm fine. That was just really, really strong. Like,
Y'all want another one?
No. I'm good. If I'm not too careful, I'm gonna get sick, and I don't want to throw up. I'm fine.
Hey, why don't y'all take the shot in the other room? No. It's fine. Go take the shot in the other room, and we'll come with you for an visit and get that away. Go.
Someone get him.
You, couch, go. What's going on?
With what, Margarita?
Enough, Jazz. You've been throwing up for weeks now. You don't have to keep doing this to yourself.
Margarita, I'm fine. Look, I just saw Izzy and a million thoughts started running through my head. And you were supposed to have my back tonight, and now you're all in my ear with all this. Like, I didn't come here to do this, Margarita.
Hey, we finna get in the beer pong, y'all. Y'all good?
Yeah, we're great, actually. Margarita was actually on her way out.
Okay, so if you're gonna be like that, make sure he gives you a ride home.
Wait, hold on. Where are you going? All right. Well, that was rough. You good?
Yeah, I'm fine. Look, I just got into it with Margarita, but I'm gonna be fine.
You sure? Hey, you know you can always come to me, right?
So now you're interested in what's going on in my life? Listen, Izzy, I have no interest in speaking to you right now, so leave me alone.
All right. Look, I'm sorry for how the way things ended between us, but that happened forever ago. Let it go. But
Yeah.
It makes me kind of miss you, and I know you miss me.
Miss you? The only thing I remember about you were you telling me things like, Jazz, maybe you should hit the gym a little more. Or no, you know what, Jazz, maybe you shouldn't eat that. What about all the times you made me change out of an outfit because you didn't like the way I was dressed? But I really miss you. I don't miss that.
Stuff like that. I mean, you always called it how you saw it, so I guess.
What's that even supposed to mean?
But wait, I remember it was you bitching and complaining about parts of your body that you could easily fix. It got so stupid at a point to argue with you that I just started to agree with you. It saved me a lot of time, actually. The words I said were to motivate you to come to the gym with me, but you got it.
Wow, Izzy. You are something else. I can't believe you're going to stand here and act like you were God's gift as a boyfriend. Your motivational talks, as you like to call it, only tore me down and made me lose my self-worth. Izzy, I can't even eat a damn meal without being ashamed about it. And you did this to me. And I'm finally starting to love myself again. What, do you get it now? Because that smirk that's been on your face the entire night is gone. Do you get what you've done to me?
Okay. Cool. Glad you're happy. Look, I'm not about to fight with you in a miserable party because all of a sudden you're feeling righteous. The words I said may have been a bit harsh, but at least I don't slap a filter on a picture and pretend that's what I look like. So excuse me, that I was on my high horse when it came to staying healthy and being in shape. And you know what? There may be less of you, but you're still the same girl with the same story. And now that I can see you up close, you can still use a few hours in the gym.
A few hours in the gym? You are so funny, Izzy. Because that's not what all your friends have been saying as they slide in my Instagram DMs. But you know what? Yeah, you should really check your own posts. Yeah. But honestly, Izzy, the most gratifying part about finding my new sense of self was losing this 150 pounds of bone. I dodged a bullet with you because you know what? Yeah, Izzy, you're right. I was fat. But look at me now. I'm the baddest chick up in this party. But you will always be an insensitive jerk that pokes fun at other people to hide your own insecurities. I feel so bad for the woman that ends up with you because she will never be enough and you will always body shame her. Stop trying to get back with me because it's not going to happen. So you can watch all of this, leave your life because I am not coming back. So make sure you get a good view of me walking right out your damn way.
So long.
Finally, these Fashion Nova fits came through.
like that dress. It holds your body in a strange way. I don't want people to think you have chunky thighs. I told you to stick to dark colors. It hides your back fat.
Maybe you should wear that in a different size.
Girl, you haven't made it to the gym in a while. Where the hell have you been?
Takeout food again? Okay, Miss Summerbot 2018.
You're gonna stand there and pretend that you weren't just getting all bulimic over there?
And now that I can see you up close, you can still use a few hours in the gym.
Why can I never be good enough? I just don't get it. I can't keep doing this to myself.
There are many resources that can help you. It can be found on campus and in your community.
You can locate these resources in your student handbook and on the internet.
Let's see how these same CSUN students are dealing with their issues on body 1 year later.
We had broken up. And one would think I wouldn't take his opinions into consideration. His opinions that weren't supposed to mean a thing to me, but still somehow did. But then it became more than his opinion, more than the voices around me. It wasn't about the food, hell, it wasn't about my body. I knew it was good. It was just the fact that I didn't have control over anything that was going on in my life. So the control that I had over food felt so good. I used to look at every meal I would eat and only see the amount of sit-ups I would have to do once I ate that. And the more intense it got, the more it grew to this, an eating disorder. A peer educator from JADE, Joint Advocates on Disordered Eating, referred me to the University Counseling Services where I began my treatment. Just like there is a process to getting to your dream body, there is also a process of getting over an eating disorder. And although I'm at a much healthier weight now, I'm learning to love myself, rather than attack myself based off of some flaws. Because at the end of the day, there is beauty in every body, size, and shape.
After my conversation with Soha, I realized I needed help. So I went to the University Counseling Services, and after a few sessions, I found out that sometimes it was just best to write what I was feeling instead of just keeping it all bottled up. Here I have a letter that I wrote to my mom. It says, "Dear Mom, I'm writing to tell you that I love you and I miss you, and there isn't a day that goes by where I don't think about you. You used to put on a smile and tell everyone that it was fine. You were fine." It's funny because I find myself doing a lot of the same thing. "Hey Ryan, are you sure you're okay?" "I'm fine," I tell them. "Ryan, you've been stuck in your room all day. What's up?" "I'm fine." "You're all alone." "I'm fine." "Allowed enough Thanksgiving, Christmas, or birthday go without you sitting in your chair." "Fine. I'm fine. I'm fine." I just thought if I said it enough, it'd be enough for me to believe. But I guess the joke's on me because you weren't fine. And I'm mad that I wasn't enough for you to want to stick it out, to choose life. And damn it, Tyler, why didn't we just stand there when we saw the signs? We knew something was up, but we just wanted to pretend that it was fine. Well, I'm not fine! And I'm done being mad and hurt and slowly coming to terms with things inside of me. With the help of my friends and some key services here at CSUN, I made it a point to myself and others who are dealing with the aspects of life that bring about stress, depression, and suicide. And my hope is to make you proud by starting a conversation and preventing the darker parts of our past from living our best life in the present.
But there's help to get you It is up to you to take it for what it's worth. Thank you.
We have a dream!
Where we all have access to equal education.
Where Black Lives Matter. Where being Muslim doesn't equal being a terrorist. Where borders don't separate families.
Where women don't have to say me too.
Where Native Americans aren't mascots.
Where trans people can freely use the restrooms they choose.
Where white supremacists don't terrorize our streets.
A dream where America can be great for all of us!
And not just for some of us.
Because let's be honest.
We live in a country
That sets up the majority for success.
While continuing to disenfranchise the rest.
Forces us to take pride in the flag.
How do we pledge allegiance to a country
That is sworn to protect us.
Yet we continue to face
Discrimination and prejudice.
on a day-to-day basis.
How do we take pride in hate?
We are taught from an early age
That America is the greatest nation in the world.
that America is built on the red, white, and blue.
The red of our blood, the white of our silence, the blue of our tears.
We are told to fall in line.
To have respect for the flag.
But how can we?
But there is no respect for us.
When our country views us as
Less than the white man.
Living in this country is not a dream.
If you're a minority,
The same protection does not apply to us.
The same rights does not apply to us.
Let us tell you about our realities,
So you can hear our pain.
so you can hear our struggles.
so you can recognize our existence.
Men,
Growing up, I was always taught that it was time to work, it was time to take on the weight of the world on your shoulders and never complain about it. I was taught never let them see that you cry. Being a man in this society has its benefits. It has its privileges. However, it also has its flaws. Let me ask you something. Did anyone tell you about toxic masculinity? That objectifying women is problematic. That men are not superior to women in all aspects. Did anyone tell you that we are the problem? Of course, people don't. I challenge all the men in this audience to change the way you think, change the way you act, change the way you navigate your world. Because if you really care about the women in your life, you will do whatever it is that you can to dismantle this thing that we have created called the patriarchy. But first, it starts by dismantling yourselves.
Latinx.
By definition, I am Hispanic, but I refuse to label myself as such. To do so would be to acknowledge that my identity is dependent on those who conquered my ancestors all those years ago. So no, I am not Hispanic. I am Latino. The proud son and descendants of my Mexican ancestors who worked tirelessly to ensure that I could be here today. You see, I'm the result of years of oppression and of rape and of theft. But at the same time, I'm also the result of years of bravery, of courage, and resilience. I stand before here, feet firmly planted in the same land where my ancestors walked across thousands of years ago. The same land that was taken away in the name of manifest destiny, and the same land where your manifesto has allowed families to be separated in the name of national security. I stand here dumbfounded that a nation can feel so secure that children can be put into cages. You dare to stand before me and say, go back to your country. Well, I have the sense to stand before you and say, I never left. And the only real immigrant that I can see is yourself.
LGBTQ+.
Who gave you permission to rearrange me? Certainly not me. Being gay is not a phase, but I certainly hope some of y'all's fashion sense is because, let's be honest, some of y'all need some work. Your homophobia is so last season. keep up with the trends and keep an open mind. I mean, how would you feel if you were constantly being asked, who's the boy and who's the girl in the relationship, when you're both boys? I mean, it may be funny to you at first, but it gets real old real fast. So Felicia, please stop being so messy and mind your damn business. If you're that curious, look it up on Google for Christ's sake. And speaking of Christ, it may say in the Bible that it's a sin for me to lay with another man. But if God made me a hell-bound sinner, then why am I so fabulous? But for real though, why are y'all so pressed about trans folks? Respect people's names. Respect people's identities. Respect people's pronouns. It's not about your comfort. It's about validating everybody's experience. It's 2018. Why are y'all so focused on, I don't know, other people's private lives? You should be focused on bettering your life. We should be uplifting each other rather than tearing each other down. I mean, why be homophobic, transphobic, sexist, or even racist when you can just be quiet?
Asian American Pacific Islander.
Since I'm Asian and I'm supposed to be good at math, let me break things down for you. I am 20% so done with being asked, what kind of Asian are you? Because I don't ask you, what kind of white are you? I am 20% super excited and happy that an Asian woman had a part in Star Wars, one of the biggest franchises in the world, and wasn't portrayed as a sexually submissive woman, nor did she have a colored streak in her hair. I am 20% absolutely horrible at math and science, and because of that, 40% definitely not going into the medical or engineering field. But besides that, I am 100% for remodeling the Asian stereotype of being the model minority, because that myth was created to bring down other races in the first place. Asians make up 60% of the world's population. But why is it that we are being reduced down to the smallest minority? Start appreciating the things that we give to this world, especially the people. Because without us, you wouldn't have your phone, your clothes, your boba, or your Panda Express. Even though Asian food to you, that's not real Asian food.
Women.
Women are the strongest people I know. And yes, I am a feminist. And if you aren't, why not? I need feminism because of the 79 cents I made to his dollar. I need feminism because Brock Turner got out of jail 3 months early from a sentence that was already too short. And I need feminism because there's too many men in our government making decisions concerning my body. And no, I will not smile or give you my number because frankly, I don't want to. We are constantly told to act ladylike. But to that I say screw it, act like a woman. For we are strong, brave, passionate, and powerful people who are more than capable of being great.
Black African American.
It's funny. Then wonder why we kneel. Why should I stand for a flag that has buried millions of my people? Why should I sing along to a song that wasn't even made for people who look like me? Why can't they understand that it was my ancestors who built this country, and yet we're the ones dying at the hands of white police officers? We are treated less than animals. Less than animals. To be black in America is to be a walking target, knowing that at any given moment or time, someone of a higher power can come along and decide your fate. It's like every other week you hear of another black person in the news, in the media, murdered. And they say, I'm overreacting. Yes, I am overreacting. Why? Because this country isn't reacting enough. And the craziest part about all of this, the craziest part, any one of those victims could have been me. any one of those victims could have been you. Our bodies are not yours to claim. Our culture is not yours to claim. So, they wonder why we kneel. We kneel because we refuse to be silent. We kneel because we refuse to let you continuously corrupt our communities. To be black in America is to be resilient. And we will continue to fight because our voices matter, our futures matter, and our lives matter. One more thing. Slavery was no choice.
Multiracial.
When I was growing up, my father would tell me, when people ask you what you are, tell them that you are black and Mexican. Well, I told them. But now they're wondering why I don't speak Spanish. Now they're asking me why I don't hang out with the other black girls. Now they're accusing me of thinking I am better than the other black girls. Now they're wondering how my Mexican mother could ever marry a black man like you. Now they're wondering why you didn't think a black woman was good enough. Now they're asking me which side of my identity I identify with more. I tell them I cannot give up one piece of my identity to make them feel more comfortable. I tell them that being in the middle does not mean that I am in a purgatory. My racial identity is a beautiful quilt that was sewn together by black and brown people who worked tirelessly for me to be here today. I tell them that I am not half and half, I am one. I let them know that I love being black and Mexican. And at the end of the day, no matter what I am, it is nobody's business.
Undocumented.
I am one of the 11 million undocumented immigrants living in America today, and one of the 800,000 DACA recipients. I used to be ashamed of this because it made me feel different, and it made me scared. I must live my life in fear that if I bring too much attention to myself, I will be deported. But I can't be ashamed of this. How can I when there's too much work left to be done? A human being cannot be illegal. But unfortunately, we live in a country that favors legality over morality. A country that would rather separate children from families and keep them in cages than to help them build a dream, all because of a piece of paper. Immigrants are what make this country great. Your clothes, your internet, your social media, and most of your entertainment would not exist without us. And for those of you saying that we take your jobs, if you didn't have it in the first place, then it wasn't yours to begin with. I'm sorry that I worked hard enough to be more qualified than you.
White.
All right, everyone, so I'm going to be talking about race. Now, no need to panic and don't leave the room. Listen, we need to stop avoiding conversations with people who have different opinions than our own. Now, I can go into a convenience store and not have to worry about being racially profiled because of the color of my skin. And I can drive down the street and not have to worry about being pulled over because of the color of my skin. And that's my privilege. Yeah, the P word, I said it. Triggered, I know. But look, we all know that all white people are not the same. And we're not all racist. But staying silent isn't going to help the situation either. We need to stand together. Because we're not going to fix any of today's issues while we're segregated. So, I suggest, if you want to be invited to the cookout, we start showing a little bit more respect instead of just acting as a bystander.
Religious.
I'm a woman who believes in God. And no, just because you don't, that doesn't mean I think you're a devil spawn. When you think of a believer, it hurts me to know that you are uncomfortable by me. I am in no way, shape, or form better than you, and I don't act like I am because I'm humbled by my interactions and experiences with God. The message is always peace, love, and positivity when it comes to the word that I believe in. God is love, and for that reason, I am a lover of all human beings. regardless of race, regardless of religious belief, and regardless of sexual orientation. I am a firm believer in agape, a Greco-Christian term referring to the highest form of love, charity, and the unconditional love God has for us. It's the universal bond of spreading love towards all of humanity, regardless of our differences. And that's what I was put on this earth for.
Middle Eastern.
September 11th, 2001. How can this one day become so engraved into our minds forever? How can, with one stroke of a pen, a law that was enacted, also known as the Muslim ban, I knew would affect the lives of my brothers and sisters? The real question is who do we represent in America? We are feared. We are believed to be violent. We are believed to be oppressive. Who would have ever thought that being an immigrant would feel like you have committed a crime you did not commit? Who would have ever thought that you would be marginalized for the religion that you choose to practice? You see, America, out of the greatest accomplishments that you have achieved, one of the biggest failures that you have failed to realize is that you have generalized an entire population based off of a certain group of people led by their actions. You, America, have criminalized and robbed us of our safety, freedom, and most importantly, our voice. You see, the Middle East is a beautiful region that has over 20 different countries, each with a variety of its own languages, cultures, and religions. For far too long, we as Middle Easterners have felt like the big elephant in the room. But one thing that we have realized is the only thing that should be uncomfortable is your ignorance.
We have a dream!
What are your race?
Religion.
Sexual orientation.
Gender identity.
Documentation status.
Ability.
Class.
Does not determine how much you are worth.
A dream where arguments do not escalate to violence.
Where they instead lead to some level of understanding and respect.
So that we can see each other for who we truly are.
Rather than being stuck on social barriers
That continue to divide us.
Those in power make it impossible
For us to reach that dream.
Of peace and justice for all. They try to silence
They
us.
try to forget us.
They try to invalidate us.
Try as they might, they will not erase us. Or we will continue to rise up.
To fight the wars of oppression. On the battleground we call America.
Or we will continue to
in
fight.
order to free ourselves from.
Change the violence to the cycle of hate.
That has been passed down.
From generation to generation.
For we will also continue to love ourselves and each other.
So that we may purify not only the hate
We receive from others, but from the hate,
we have developed within our very own communities.
The world we live in cannot change without you.
So are you going to be with us?
or are you going to be against us?
The choice is yours.
But our choice is freedom.
And when I wake up, I recognize you looking at me for a pay cut. Mama said me looking at you.
It was easy to love my ex. We were so different, but that didn't matter. We were each other's support system. So when he opened up to me about his depression, I decided that from that moment on, my entire existence would be dedicated to making his life better for him. However, that started to not be enough. I wanted to get more involved and to meet more people on campus. The more that I pulled away, the more that he pulled me in closer. It was around this time that I developed a panic disorder, anxiety, and depression. I had always been this confident person, and now the thought of talking to a new person terrified me. I had no one else to turn to but him, but he was the root of all of my problems. One night, I had had enough and decided to start swallowing my antidepressants as an attempt to overdose. Luckily, he stopped me. You would think that that event would have been enough for us to see that this relationship was toxic, but it wasn't. We continued to see each other, but there was nothing sweet about our relationship anymore. I decided to turn to other people for help. That became my way out, and I took it. I never looked back, and neither has he. Even now, I still miss him, but I have realized how important it is to love and put myself first. I spent the first half of college worried about his well-being over my own, and now I'm making up for lost time by going out, meeting new people, and joining different organizations on campus. This past year has been about self-care and self-growth. I know I have a long journey ahead of me, but I'm already so proud of the progress I have made. My name is Jenny Skillerin. I'm a senior majoring in communication studies, and I want to leave you with this. Choose every day to forgive yourself. You are human, flawed, and most of all, you are worthy of being loved. Thank you.
Well, I fits into reality I never saw coming. The person I looked up to and aspired to be decided to leave my family. I never would have thought the mom and dad would betray me and not even have the decency to say goodbye. The intense emotional pain I felt from his absence drove me to a place where I believed I was better off dead because I wasn't important enough for him to stay. Then a miracle happened. The pain started fading and the healing began. And I realized that the family I have is all the family I need, especially with the resilient mother who continues to raise my brothers and I. With their support, I decided to take CSUN by full force and became so involved in different leadership opportunities that the honor to receive the most prestigious award a first-year student can get, the Diane Harrison Leadership Award. Being a 2016 recipient was honestly the validation I craved. But a few months later, the craving wasn't satisfying, so I took on more and more to the point where I believed I had no limits. And this all-time high lasted until reality sobered me up and I realized everything I worked so hard for had burned me out. And I did not make the GPA requirement for the second half of the scholarship. Yes, I will always be the Diane Harrison awardee, but I'm also reminded that you can't please everyone, and saying no is okay. With the support of my family and best friends, and especially students, my sorority, and new student orientation, I came back stronger. Regardless of other people's thoughts or actions, I know I am someone who matters. My name is Rose Emily Rita. I'm 21 years old, a junior majoring in health administration, and I'll leave you with this quote. With change comes opportunity. We must continuously change in order to grow. Things are the way they are because that's just how life is. Accept the change and evolve into the better you. Always try to be better than who you were yesterday.
That you and your past decisions is what makes up your personality. That no matter how fast you may be able to run, you will never be able to outrun your past. I am the living proof that this is true. I was born in New York, to a family of drug addicts who raised me to be no different. I tried every drug before I was able to write my own name. My mother and father split up before I was born, but their treatment towards me didn't differ. My mother drank while pregnant with me, and once I was born, I drank with her. My father, once I was able to walk, took me on every drug deal that he had, and introduced me to a life of early death. My mother and father were sentenced to a combined total of 16 years in jail. In February of 2004 is when my life took a turn for the better. And I was adopted by a lovely woman named Madeline Ward, who shaped me to the man I am today. And although our time with each other was cut short in 2015 due to lung cancer and stage 3 bone cancer, her teachings are forever embedded in me, and I display them with every action I take. I've embraced everything that's happened to me, and I use it as fuel for my future. I am in charge of how I feel, and I'm choosing happiness. My name is Israel Jamar Henderson Ward. I'm a sophomore majoring in psychology and double minoring in Africana Studies and criminology, and I would like to leave you with this. Do not pray for an easy life, but pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Stay solid.
In tough situations that left a lot of memories, most of them not so good. Our dad was good at hiding our arguments, but our mom had a habit of bringing us to the middle of everything even though we were just kids. Her mood swings would keep us on the edge at all times, but nothing could prepare us for what was coming. One day in the fall of my freshman year in high school, I came home and was told that our mom had committed suicide. I thought to myself, she's never going to see me get my driver's license. She's never going to meet my beautiful wife. She'll never get to see my kids. All that is gone. I knew she never wanted to hurt her 2 boys, but the decision to take herself out of this world was the worst pain I've ever felt. Losing my mom has left me with a sense of emotional numbness, yet the support I've got this far has made me much stronger. Today, I use my mom's memory to dedicate my successes to. My dad is my biggest role model and the definition of a great man and a great father. My brother Eric is the reason why I stay strong, so that he always knows to keep his head high. My name is Ryan Bratcher. I'm a senior studying mechanical engineering, and I'd like to leave you with this. Sometimes we lose focus, planning our own demise. forget the big picture and make it a wall size. So to what's important in my life, I promise to stay faithful, focused, and sanctified. We all get distracted. The question is, would you bounce back or bounce backwards?
I felt like I didn't belong in this world. And looking back, it's easy to feel like a black sheep when you're a multiracial gay man living under the societal norms of a conservative Caucasian community. I tried to fit in, making myself smaller to make everyone around me comfortable, pushing aside my wants and needs to better accommodate everyone else but myself. And I could still feel the judgment in people's eyes as I walked to class. The sting of my fellow classmates yelling faggot and hurling their lunch at me as I held my head in shame and disgust, as if I didn't already have enough trouble fitting into my own skin. They amplified the hate I had for myself. I hated my curls, my freckles, my light skin, my loud, high-pitched voice, my long, disproportionate body. But over time I realized that their harsh words and opinions didn't define me. And over time, they lost power over how I viewed myself. I realized that not everyone is going to like you, and that's okay. You are your biggest investment. Take the time to get to know and love yourself. Do whatever makes you happy. Do whatever sets your soul on fire and make no apologies about it. My name is Austin Xavier Smith, and I am majoring in graphic design. And I leave you with this message. If you don't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
It wasn't until I started applying to college that I knew exactly why that was. I'm undocumented, or more specifically, a DACA recipient. My status was never talked about at home. I just knew there were certain things I couldn't sign up for. I couldn't get a job or a driver's license until certain laws passed. I was just lucky enough that those laws passed around the same time that I became of age. It wasn't until recently that I became scared of what the future would hold. I have dreams of having a successful job one day that I enjoy and having a family and being able to support it. But I saw that dream fading farther and farther away as my DACA expiration date was fast approaching. On September 5, 2017, Trump made the decision to resign DACA. And if yours expired by October of 2017, you were able to renew it. Unfortunately, mine expired on May of 2018. Those few months that I didn't know the fate of my status were the most uncertain few months of my life. I was scared that I would have to uproot my life and start all over again in a new country. However, people fought for our rights. They rallied and cried for the injustice that was happening, and eventually change started happening and I saw them. Congress allowed for extension after extension, and eventually I was able to renew my DACA for another 2 years. Despite this, I still feel scared and uncertain. Even though DACA is supposed to protect us from deportation, the administration that this country runs under doesn't care about any of that. Our fight isn't over, and who knows what will happen in the next few years. But I know that I feel safe here at CSUN, knowing that we have resources such as the Dream Center and a community that makes us feel safe and protected. My name is Margarita Elo. I'm 21 years old, majoring in communication studies, and I leave you with this. Courage cannot erase our fear. Courage is when we face our fear. Thank you.
I've always grown up with the idea that silence is the best policy. You see, I've always been an honorable student, listened and respected my elders, have always done the right things in life, and have been even called the goody two-shoes daughter that every parent told me they wish they had. But after everything that I had done, I had felt like I still was not enough. I had felt like I never measured up to the satisfactory amount to what my family wanted me to be. While seeking validation from my own family, I naturally started to seek that same validation from the people around me. Sooner than later, the label of my name became Soha the people pleaser, which then resulted in me getting bullied in my freshman year of high school, which had been one of the biggest turning points of my life, making me suffer from severe depression and anxiety. Last November, I had one of the biggest panic attacks I've ever had. While hearing about my grandmother's passing, it was definitely one of the biggest challenges I've ever had to face in my life. She had breast cancer for the second time and had been battling it for the past 12 years. Yes, even though her passing was definitely hard, but in me grew a light brighter than I have ever felt before, and I know she is watching over me every day. On this journey called life, I have learned a few things. I have learned that I need to love who I am, all parts of me. I have learned that I am the only person that gets to decide who I will become. I am so grateful to have such a loving and embracing community here at CSUN that makes me love who I am unapologetically, and I get to express myself and get to stay true to who I truly am. My name is Soma Safari, majoring in environmental and occupational health with a minor in Africana studies, and I would like to leave you with this. Owning your story can be hard, but only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness are we able to see the infinite power of our very own life. Thank you, love you all, God bless.
My father got diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. All of my parents were going through a divorce, which made me question so much about love and life in general. I let what I couldn't control in my life consume me in such a negative way, to the point where I found myself getting in trouble with the law and getting kicked out of 3 different middle schools for fighting, and just losing myself at a young age. Growing up in a gang-infested neighborhood, I could have easily fell for the trap that a lot of my family and friends fell for, but thankfully I didn't. I was able to graduate middle school, and on that day, I clearly remember making a decision to turn my life around. I've always believed in God, but it wasn't until that year that God became a prevalent part of my life and the way I moved. I went on to high school, and I became president of my class all 4 years. So coming here to CSUN, I promised myself I'd keep the involvement going. I joined Associated Students Outdoor Adventures Camp Matador, a sorority, new student orientation, and a few other organizations that really kept me grounded. On the involvement side of things, everything was going as planned, but academically and at home, not so much. My sophomore and junior year, I found myself going through crippling test anxiety and depression, and just losing myself trying to balance working full-time and going to school full-time. The pressure of having to provide at home and having to graduate really caught up to me, and I found myself turning to drugs to ease my stress, and I was even on academic probation. During this time, I formed an eating disorder, and it consumed my existence. And the craziest part is that no one around me noticed. All they saw was this drastic weight loss, and I started getting all this praise and recognition for it. And I wasn't used to it, so I kept it going, knowing that I was just harming myself. With God by my side, and with the help of some amazing family and friends, I was able to take control of my life. I'm healthy, doing well academically, and I'm learning to love myself at all stages. My name is Jasmine Mulero. I'm 22 and a senior majoring in business management, and I'd like to leave you with this. We have no right to the cards we believe we should have been dealt, but we have one hell of an obligation to play the cards we're holding.
And see, this desire came about because of how dysfunctional my family was growing up. My parents had a history of splitting up and getting back together, so I never knew what a normal family was supposed to be like. And I lost my opportunity to find out during the summer before I came to CSUN, when my mom left my dad for the third and final time. I knew she wasn't coming back, and honestly, I couldn't blame her. For years, we had to endure coming back to a place that was supposed to be our home, but felt more like a prison. Emotional abuse was glad to common, and in order to cope, I suppressed my emotions, closed myself off. Not wanting to burden people with my issues, I just didn't talk about them. And as you can imagine, this only made things worse. I became depressed, and I stopped caring about myself, my academics, and my life altogether. I stopped going to class and was even on the verge of dropping out, just because I didn't care anymore. Fortunately, however, as time went on, and I began to make stronger relationships with people on campus, the pain stopped being as bad. Campus involvement literally saved my life. And before I knew it, I found the family that I always wanted right here at CSUN. My friends in NSO, the mentorship program, my fraternity, my take cast. With their support, I was able to learn that my happiness is dependent on nothing else but myself. And using them as motivation, I was able to learn to let major in mechanical engineering, and I'd like to leave you with this. There are no guarantees in life. No one can say whether or not you'll be here within 5 years, let alone the end of the day. So accept yourself where you are, and the responsibility that you're going to take yourself where you want to be. Thank you.
My problems life into the resentment I had towards my dad. It didn't take me long to question whether or not I was worthy of the love or affection from the one person that was supposed to bring me my greatest happiness growing up. My dad leaving was the gateway that led to the chapter of my life called juvenile delinquency. Channeling all this energy and converting it into hatred, anger, frustration, I soon became the person that I swore to myself I would never become. Alcohol and other substances became my identity, and everyone was fond of me because of that. But they didn't see inside, they didn't see that I was struggling, that I was dying, and I was quickly losing myself. It wasn't until I had a change of heart and I started loving God and loving people that I realized that faith and love are two powerful tools that can help anyone overcome any circumstance in one's life. Now I'm a man of integrity, and I strive to embrace everyone who's open to receive it. My name is Neddy Emmanuel Rosa Beltran. I am a senior, majoring in general sociology and double majoring in religious studies, and I would like to leave you with this. Consider it pure joy, my people, when you face many trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you can become mature and complete and not lacking anything. James 1:2-4. Thank you.
Three of us have a GPA of 3.0 or higher.
One of us has had a drug addiction.
5 of us are survivors of rape or sexual assault. 3 of us have had an eating disorder.
8 of us have suffered from depression and or suicidal thoughts.
3 of us have been in a physically or emotionally abusive relationship.
All of us have had discrimination bestowed upon us.
We're not here to change your mind on any issue,
but rather to present to you the many choices you will face when coming to college.
College is about taking chances and making choices.
Make the best choices for you.
What would your 1 year later look like?
And we are
This is also because you formed some bonds today, and you're going to be going back into those groups for the next 30 minutes, and you're going to have it out. You're going to talk about some of the things that you saw on this stage. How do they correlate with you? Some of you, rhetorical question, did you see yourself up on the stage, perhaps something happened to you, or you know this has happened to some friend you've seen, or finally somebody got you right, and you were able to hear your community or your person kind of speaking through their mouths there. Whatever the case is, however you felt and or whatnot, we hope that you feel embraced by this university and that you're filled by the clubs, the organizations, the resources that we have for you, and you find ample to leverage your success. Let's give it one more time for this.